Hello and welcome back. In this video we are going to discuss how we have created this project, or rather what is the code for now behind this and how and why we would like to refactor it to comply with solid principles and to be more object oriented. So we can go to our assets folder and to our scripts folder, and we can see that we have a couple of scripts. We have NPC enemy, NPC friendly, player and player sounds. So let's start with player, since this is the most complex script. So let's double tap on it to open it up. Great. Now we can see that we are inside our player script. It is a mono behavior, and it is the script that you would have when you are creating a prototype for some system. So it has animator, sprite renderer, access to the transform, float movement variable, game object rigid body, vector to movement vector. So we can already see that it has multiple responsibilities. We have our awake when we get the rigid body reference. We have start when we are loading the scene, so this is another responsibility of this script. We have update when we are getting the input from the player, we are normalizing it and getting the fire input. We have fixed update when we are moving our player using the rigid body, and of course we can also set the animation. We are hiding the UI in case we were talking with someone and we have started moving. We have our interact method, which simply shoots a raycast, and if we hit an enemy or a friendly, we are performing the appropriate actions on those scripts. We have our move player method that allows us to play the animation and to perform walk. We can receive damage, so just play the coroutine to flash red. So you can already see that this script does a lot of work, and the issue with this would be that we have a lot more features to add usually to our game. So if we add those all in this script, you can already see that it gets pretty long, and if it gets longer and longer, it will be very difficult to maintain. So this would be one reason why we should refactor it, so we have more granular scripts that takes care of, for example, only movement, only the rendering, so we can open them up and add the functionality to those scripts, not worrying about our player, which basically coordinates every other method or script to work together to present to us the player that we want it to be. So the player that can move, that can animate, that can flash red, and all of those features. Okay, I'm going to go back to Unity. Okay, player sound, it is misspelled, but nevertheless, it is the most robust script in our scripts folder. It has only access to audio source in it, and it plays step sound. I'm not going to rename it since it is used by animations, so we would have to swap the events, but basically that's it what it does. It plays sound on animating step when we are moving our player. Our NPC, friendly and enemy are very similar. They are both accessing the UI, the game object and the text object, and they have reference to the audio source, and they are able to play a sound, also to display a window, the text window with the text that I have given to them. And you can already see that if we swap to the enemy, it is duplicating code. This could grow larger if we add more enemies that all have to have the access to the UI and to the audio source. So there is potential here to refactor this code right now, to split it up into more classes with less code that we can extend, and we can make them more maintainable. So if you want to work on rendering, you only open player renderer instead of opening the player and working on the same script. Okay, great. And what we have here in the scenes, we have our pre-made level. It has no scripts, it simply has some tile maps that represents the whole level. So this has no scripts, only the graphics. Okay, let's go back to our scenes, to our game scene. In the next video, I'm going to try to explain what the single responsibility principle stands for, and we are going to refactor our scripts to split them up into more granular classes that are responsible for only one task. So see you in the next video.